Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Danielle Daily. I'm Danielle Watson. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I have breaking news, hot off the presses, straight from the email inbox, something I'm super excited to share with you today. We're also going to be talking about making peace within ourselves and with others around us. I will have today's note to self for you. So let's get started. So like I said, I have super exciting news to share with you guys. Thank you for being here with me. It looks like Elena has joined us. Julio is here. Julio, I missed you on Friday. Thank you for being here. I definitely notice when you're not able to make it. Elena, I love that you are here so often as well. You are fantastic, and I just love the profile photo that you put up. That was wonderful. Today I have super exciting news to share. I have today's note to self, and I have some tips on how to make peace within yourself and make peace with others as well. I know a lot of us are feeling like we're ready to feel a little bit better inside because last week was a very emotional week for people on all sides of the aisle, and we're feeling ready to feel something different, hopefully something a little bit more peaceful, something that feels a little bit more like normalcy. So I thought today I would offer you some thoughts on making peace within yourself and making peace with others. It looks like Amy has joined us. Thank you so much. It is so good to have you guys here on this wonderful Monday. You know, I love Mondays because to me the idea of Monday is a fresh start. It's a fresh start to a new week. It gives me an opportunity to look forward at how I want to create my future, what I want to do this week that's going to move me towards the vision I have for my life. And so, along with that, I wanted to share with you my little bit of news today before we launch into the note to self and how to make peace with ourselves and others. So, as you know, last year I wrote a book called Note to Self, and it was a daily entry that I made. It was a note that I wrote to myself each day to help encourage myself through a really heartbreaking, difficult time in my life. And I compiled all these, and I'm putting them into a book that I hope will be inspiring to people who don't want to lose hope, even though life has thrown something difficult at them. And today I got the first draft of what the cover is going to look like. And it definitely needs some tweaks, but it's so beautiful. It was so inspiring to see the work that the designer had done. You know, I was able to write all the words and get all the things on the page that I need to say, but I have no design skills. And so I hired this out to somebody who actually is an amazing designer that was introduced to me through a friend named Zephin Blacksburg. He's wonderful. And when I saw that first draft, even though there are changes that I know need to be made to it to make it the perfect cover for my book, it felt so inspiring. This woman had taken the work that I had done and represented it visually in a way that I never could. And when I saw what she created in my mind, I could see my book actually physically printed and on the shelf of a store. And in my mind, this book has always been, my first little ebook, not a big deal. Hopefully have the experience of some people buying it, but I didn't necessarily have a huge vision for it being a print book, for it being in stores. Just that felt like way too much work. But when I saw what that cover looked like, I could completely imagine myself maybe walking through Dulles Airport one day and walking by one of the bookstores and seeing that book on the shelf. And it was such a profound moment for me. It was so inspiring and it felt wonderful. And I wanted to share that celebration with you because it was so exciting for me to see what she had created after reading my words. So it looks like Elena says, "Congrats! I bet that is the best feeling of success and pride." It is. It's such a wonderful feeling of success and pride. And at the same time, I know that I still have steps that I have to go through to make sure that this book actually makes it out there into the world. So it's interesting how we sometimes wait to celebrate our wins until it's all the way there. So the book hasn't been printed yet. Not a single soul has bought it yet, but I'm celebrating all the little wins along the way because for me, that's how I keep myself inspired to move the mountains that have to move to be able to get to the point where this book might actually be on a shelf in a store where somebody who doesn't know me could walk by, have their eye caught by this beautiful cover, be drawn to the message that's contained within, and pick it up and hold it in their hand and actually take it home with them. There are millions of tiny steps that need to happen for that, but I'm celebrating just the inspiring feeling I felt by seeing that first cover today. So thank you for celebrating with me. I appreciate you guys. So today we are in a place where hopefully some of the dust, the emotional dust from last week's presidential election here in the US has settled a bit. We had the weekend to kind of distract us and to do other things and spend time with the people we love. And I think many of us are feeling like we're ready to make peace within ourselves and with others. And maybe that has nothing to do with the election. And I don't want you to think that what I'm sharing here today is specific to that. I just know that that's something that's on a lot of your minds. And so I wanted to make sure that you knew that you could use this to apply to that situation. But really what I'm going to talk about today, you can apply to any situation where you need to make peace within yourself or when you need to make peace with other people. It looks like Michael Keck has joined us, Tammy Keck has joined us. Thank you for the thumbs ups and hearts that you guys are sending across the screen. I love those little hearts. Those are my favorite. The thumbs ups are good too. So today, as I said, if you're just joining me, I am celebrating that I got to see the first draft of the cover for my book. It was beautiful. It was inspiring. It does need changes, but it gave me this amazing vision of what it would look and feel like to have my book actually on a shelf somewhere where somebody could pick it up and hold it in their hands and enjoy what it was that I wrote. I'm Danielle Watson. This is the Danielle Daily. If you've just joined in, thank you so much. We're talking about making peace within ourselves and making peace with others today. So my number one tip for making peace within yourself is probably a little different than what most people might say, and I hope you still find it useful. So I know a lot of people would say when you need to make peace within yourself or you need to make peace with others, the thing to do is to look at the situation from somebody else's perspective. And while I do believe that that is useful and helpful, it can also lead to overthinking, and we really actually never know what somebody else is thinking or what their perspective is. So if it helps you to think about what's upsetting you from somebody else's perspective and sort of rationalize their thoughts or their behavior or the interaction that you had, go for it. But I have actually a different tip for you today. This is something that I use over and over and over again in my life to make peace within myself and to make peace with the people around me who are annoying the crap out of me. What I do is I withdraw. That's my number one tip. I withdraw my attention from whatever it is that is causing me not to feel peaceful. Because I know that what I need to do is get control of my own emotional response to whatever's happening. So for me to be able to get control so that I can respond in a productive way to whatever it is that I'm being faced with, I know that in order to be able to do that, what I need to do is withdraw my attention from whatever is bothering me. So I'd like you guys to just give that a try. You know, sometimes it's really easy when something's upsetting us to really dive into it and try to figure it out and try to understand it and try to see somebody else's perspective and figure out why something happened or how it happened or how we can prevent it again. And what I'm recommending is that unless it's a speeding train coming at you or something that just can't possibly be ignored because it's putting you in danger, I recommend that you just withdraw your attention from it. So one of my favorite ways to withdraw my attention from something, because I know that if I say, oh, I'm not going to think about that, that's basically all I am going to do is to think about it. What I do is I use the technique of distraction. So I give myself something else that's going to take up either my time or my energy or my mental space. So withdraw, and distract. Withdraw and distract. That's the method that I use that helps me to quickly make peace with myself, within myself, and to quickly be able to make peace with others, with situations, with whatever it is that's sort of grating against me and rankling my soul. Withdraw and distract. So that's what I recommend. If it's helpful for you to try to see it from somebody else's perspective, if that's actually helping you feel more peaceful, do it. But I find, it's been my observation, that when we try to get into somebody else's head and figure out why or how, we end up just kind of getting more and more invested in that and more upset by that whole situation. And what's worked for me and what I wanted to share with you was the idea of withdrawing your attention from whatever it is that's bothering you and then distract yourself. So you can do that by spending your time doing something. You can do that by using your body to do something else, or you can do something that occupies your mind. So something that I would use that would take up some time is I might cook something that requires my attention and has a lot of steps to it. So that would be something that would take up my time. Something that I might do to distract myself that would cause me to have to focus on using my body is going for a walk or going to a yoga class. And something that I would use to distract my mind would be, for me, a book or meditation. Now, meditation, that's kind of a slippery slope, because sometimes meditation turns into time where I'm just grinding my mind on what I don't want and what's bothering me. But if I'm in a place where I feel like a little quiet time would help, meditation is great. But reading a book for me is wonderful. And I know for a lot of people, zoning out to their favorite television show is a great tool. I don't actually personally own a television, so I can't say that that's a tool that I use, but definitely reading a book is a way that I sort of fill my mind with other thoughts, especially if it's something that I'm trying to learn. So I'm really focusing on the material, and that way I don't have time to focus on whatever it was that's upsetting me. So I wanted to just check my notes really quick to make sure that I covered all the bits that I wanted to. So the next piece is, why do I recommend that you withdraw and distract yourself? And really the reason is because I don't want any of us to spend any of our precious moments in life pursuing something that upsets us. I don't want any of us to waste any of our time caught up in the energy of something that makes us feel awful. So the method of withdraw and distract is meant to get you refocused on something that you do enjoy, something that makes you feel good, so that you can feel peaceful inside, so that you can feel peace towards others, so that you can connect with the people who love you, so that you're in a good headspace to be able to have calm, collected conversations with people, so that you have time in your schedule to do the things that matter to you. Don't allow circumstances that are external to you to derail you from what it is that you really want in your life, and from moving in the direction of where you want to go, and from spending time with the people who care about you, and spending time doing things that matter to you. Because every moment we spend, kind of grinding in our mind on things that bother us is a moment that we're not spending on something that is important to us and something that makes us feel good. And that's really where I want all of us to be. I want us to be in that place where we're deliberately spending our time, we're spending our energy, we're spending our thoughts on the things that really matter to us, and not like just getting distracted. I just use distract. Distraction is good, but not getting pushed off course by things that we just can't control. The only place that we're ever going to have any hope of finding any level and measure of control is in here. And that's really what I'm working towards, and that's what I try to share with others who find themselves drawn to that. So that is my recommendation: withdraw and distract. And I gave you some ideas on how you can do that. I'm curious if you have any methods that you use when you're not feeling at peace with yourself or with others that you found really effective in getting yourself refocused on what it is that you want. Julio says, good advice. Thank you. I'm so glad. Thank you. So I would like to give you today's note to self, and I would love it. You'll have a little bit of time to type in any comments you have, whether that's this is helpful, this is not helpful, questions you have, things that you've experienced or tried that have helped you to recenter yourself and to find that place of peacefulness inside so that you can approach others with openness and love. So here is today's note to self, and I know I say it ad nauseum, but please write it down. You never know when it will be helpful and useful to you, when it will be just the thing that you need to hear, even if you're not ready for it today, or even if it doesn't seem relevant to you today. I highly recommend that you collect these and that you have them available for the next time that something happens that kind of gets you out of sorts. This is a great way to practice bringing yourself back into mental presence with how you want to live your life. So here's today's note to self, and it says, Dear self, finding peace within yourself inspires others to do the same. And isn't that who we all want to be? So let me read that to you again. Dear self, finding peace within yourself inspires others to do the same. I think any of us, what we really want is to inspire others by our example. Right? We want to be the kind of person who is bringing love to the world, who is bringing connection to the world. We want to be the kind of person who is at peace, who others can count on in a time of crisis because we're the level-headed, loving one. We all want to be that person who has that power to bring calm to a situation. And the way that we become that person is by controlling what's in here and even more work what's in here, right? And cultivating a practice of being able to do that so that when stuff happens, we don't let it take our attention and move us off course. And my favorite method for doing that, when something icky comes up that is causing me to feel a way that I don't want to feel, I remember that what I want to feel is peaceful and loving, and the way that I get back to that is just withdrawing my attention and distracting myself, doing something that I enjoy that will either take up my mental energy, my physical energy, or my time. So those are my thoughts on that. I love you guys. I thank you so much for watching the Danielle Daily Show. Again, I'm Danielle Watson. I'm here every single weekday. I love it when you guys send me your questions. It's so much fun for me to give you a perspective on something that you are grappling with in life that maybe helps you think about things in a new way so that you can try something different that will maybe get you to where you want to go faster. So please feel free to put those in the comments, message me. I will put the link to the YouTube channel in the comments later. So if you want to go back and watch this video or another one, I love it when you share these with people in your life. It is so exciting when I get a message from somebody that I've never actually met, especially when they have a question for me. It's so exciting. It fills my heart. It makes me feel like I am doing the work I'm meant to do in the world and getting the message out there and helping people. And that's what keeps me showing up here. You guys are what keeps me showing up here. You guys are the reason that I put on red lipstick every day of the week now. I mean, I was probably doing it 3 or 4 days a week before, but now it's 5 days a week because I know that I want to have my best smile for all you guys. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. I'll be back here tomorrow. You're blowing me up with heart. Thank you so much. Again, love you guys. So much love, so much appreciation, and I'll see you tomorrow. Alrighty?